Hello and welcome to BVarsity Live. I am Trevor Horn. No Zach Ewing today. Zach is in Las Vegas for the WAC basketball tournament, so I am here hosting by myself. Hopefully I do well, I guess, but I am not alone. We have the lone Kern County basketball team left in the state playoffs. Independence Falcons. We have freshman Kalasia Dean, junior Ebony Sanders, and last night's big hero, sophomore Jasmine Dixon, who had 28 points on a late 8 of 11 shooting. Is that right? We also have head coach Val Mancera in studio. Congratulations to you girls last night with that win over Ontario Colony. Val, let me go to you first. This is a situation that you've been in before. You were in the same position 3 years ago. You guys were Valley champs in D3 when that team went 27-6. You guys won the first round at home, and then you come into the situation where you got to go on the road again. This time, last time it was, I think Alamany was a 3 seed, and you guys were the 6 seed.
Correct.
And now you guys have to go to number 1 Mark Chappell of Alhambra and play in the semifinals again Saturday at 6 p.m. Just being in this situation again, but yet a totally different team because that team was a senior-laden team. Obviously, Kalasia's sister, Ebony's sister were both on that team. Kind of give me an insight to what these girls bring.
Well, that conversation's come up quite a bit during the season from that team to this team and having some younger sisters. So they've got to experience it. So, and also talking to their older sisters, I'm sure, are going to be prepared for it. The difference between that team and this team, yeah, that team was upperclassmen heavy. This team is majority underclassmen. But for anyone that has gotten a chance to see them play, and like Jasmine said last night in her quotes and to the paper was, our age doesn't matter. When they step on that court to play, they play their game.
And now, Ebony, you're the junior, you're the senior elder statesman here right now, which is weird to think because you have 3 seniors on the roster and 1 in the starting lineup. But, Ebony, for you, how much fun has this been? You guys won the section title on Saturday over Sierra, and then you get to come home. And that was a great crowd last night. It was a packed house, and 90% of that crowd, 95, 99% of that crowd was home for you guys. So how much fun was that, and how much fun has this season been with only 2 losses on the docket?
It's amazingly fun. It's a blessing to be here playing with the people I play with.
And then, Jasmine, for you, you were a starter last year, but you've kind of come into your own. Last night was a season high for you. Just talk about this season and what it's been for you also.
From the start of the season, I knew that we could go really far just because of our work ethic, and we always want to improve on the things that we see in the game that we didn't do well on. We always go back to practice and work on it, and I knew that we would get really far.
Are you pulling a Russell Westbrook on us right now with those glasses? They're not prescription, are they?
Yeah, they are prescription.
Oh, they are? All right. So contacts during the game then?
No, I don't have to wear glasses during the game. It's just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're, what was that, farsighted? So you need them for reading, that sort of thing? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Kalasia, freshman, when we talked on Saturday, you were what, like 11, 12 years old when you watched your sister win that section title. For you coming in as a freshman, obviously you've watched these 2 play as freshmen. For you, how much fun has this season been?
It's great having, Ebony here to just push me in practice and just keep me moving.
Val, the Central Section had a hard run last night. Kern County teams, you were the only one to go. West boys lost to Alamany. Both the BCHS boys and girls both lost on the road. Garces went down and had a 1-point lead at the half over Windward, and then lost by 14 against a team that they beat by 20 back in November. And then Arvin girls lost also, and then the Kern Valley boys lost also, and then collectively, the Central Section went 3-18. Obviously, we still have Clovis West in the girls open, and then Emmanuel Reedley in the boys open to play Friday and Saturday. For you, why is that? Is it a sense of maybe it's time to move into NorCal division, or is there something? Is it just a down year, or what is it about the Central Section going up against teams from Southern California and the coast that just didn't correlate this year?
on the competitive stage, it's something that we've already had conversations about, our coaching staff. For us to be competitive on that level, we're already looking to attend some tournaments in those areas in preparation for this part of the year. Very proud of our girls, our team, in getting here. But we're already looking to the future on what can we do to prepare ourselves for these stages. But in saying that, these girls approach every game as another basketball game, and that's something that we constantly say. Try not to get caught up on the moment of, oh, this is a big game. We understand the games are big at this level, and we're just trying to keep ourselves grounded and just approach it as another game and trust and commit to what we do. As far as the competition between the Southern section and Central section, Southern section's tough, a lot of competition. So we're just trying to represent our section, our community, to the best that we can.
All right, all three of you girls are watching the highlights right now. Jasmine, you guys had that 12-0 run to start the game last night, and it really kind of predicated on your defense. You guys been able to kind of use that full court press to, have Colony a little bit off balance there. Is that the key for you guys this season, especially the key on Saturday against the number one seed and, Capella, that looks like a team that is going to be guard heavy like you guys are also?
Yeah, we always focus on defense first. We want to pressure them and cause turnovers so that we can make it convert on the offensive end and let our shots fall.
And then, obviously, Independent's still relatively new. It's still one of the newest high schools in Kern County. Ebony, is that ever an issue for you guys? We're a new school. You guys did play in the Southwest Yosemite League up until, this season when you guys went to the SYL. Is that ever an issue, or is it just a great group of athletes on campus?
Yeah, that's not an issue. We're just ready to play basketball, and that's all we focus on.
And then, for the two of you watching your sisters play, how much fun was that? And then did you guys have conversation? I know, Ebony, we've got that shot of you looking up in the stands at your family and your sister. Kalisha, did you ever go to your sister and be like, I got mine as a freshman?
Yeah, I always pick on her about it. She gets mad at me, but, we always mess around about it.
And what does that mean? Win or lose Saturday, you guys are all going to come back next year. Val, you've got, 95% of your scoring offense coming back. Mm-hmm. Jasmine, what does that mean for you to know that everything you're building this year, win or lose Saturday, if you guys go on to the finals, you can bring this all back and work in the offseason together?
It's definitely exciting to know that we all have another chance to come back and get even further next year. It's just amazing that we're this lucky to have a group of girls that are still young and this talented.
Val, why don't we take this time? Why don't you personally introduce each one of them and tell us, not only about them as basketball players, but as young women?
Well, we'll start with Kalasia. You see that smile right there. That's what she brings to the team. Not always the most vocal, but lets her game do the talking for who she is, and then she lets that smile and sometimes some faces if she wants to give us one real quick.
Go, get it.
That definitely brings laughter and a lighter mood to the team when we need it. And then Jasmine, great on the court, but even more so, if I'm not mistaken, she hasn't received anything less than an A in high school up until this point, correct? Or 1B.
Uh-oh.
1B, and then it's in an AP class, but that's a great achievement. So yeah, she's not perfect, but pretty close to being perfect, right, for someone that tries to be. And then Ebony, she's our muscle. Yep. She's our backbone. Vocal when needs to be. Kind of lays back when things are going well and kind of lets the team do their deal. But when it's time for her to be that assertive captain, never hesitates, takes control of her team, demands total effort from her team, and also leads by example. But she's just a physical presence. 5'10", not the biggest post player, but definitely one of the strongest and smartest. And we had a conversation this morning because sometimes Ebony doesn't always give herself enough credit. And if she was to look over her right and left shoulder right here in this room, those two teammates know they need her.
Well, it was never more evident than when she got into foul trouble last night, and that's when the two post players for Colony were able to kind of get that momentum back. Ebony, for you, was that hard to have to sit on the bench knowing that you were playing defense well, but you got called where you had 3 blocks in the game, but then you could have had 5 because 2 of those were called on fouls where you thought maybe they were clean. For Jasmine, is that kind of what it is? She's your backbone. You know that you need her to be able to play that inside-out game.
Yeah, we definitely know that Ebony is a big impact inside, getting boards and rebounds and putting it back up and drawing fouls. We know that she's really important to our team.
Val, I mean, what do you did you know that with Kalasia here, and you've got 2 other freshmen with Deja Wandick and it's Jawanda Kinder, is that right? Jayana Kinder. Did you know last year as 8th graders that they were going to be impact players for you, or is this something that you didn't see coming until?
We knew that they were going to come to make an immediate impact.
Especially since this one was palling around when she was 12, 11, 10 years old.
And like you mentioned, Deja and Jayana. Deja is one of the other starters. And a lot of what Ebony does is because of Deja. They work very, very well together. Deja's just as competitive as Ebony, and that's a pretty high mark because anybody that's done anything against Ebony, whether it's just a casual game or on the court, she wants to win. And Deja has that same attribute, so they work well together. And then Jayana comes off the bench, definitely has a skill set, could be a starter on any varsity team in town, but we start Brittany Santoy, who's been in the program all 4 years and very deserving, works hard as well. So all these girls know they have their role, their job, and they do it well together. But with Jayana and Deja as freshmen, definitely gives our team depth. Also off the bench, Aisha Williams, Kiara Wandick, they all have great responsibilities that these 3 young ladies in this room depend on, and they've done a great job all season long doing what they're supposed to do. And
that depth is also going to really be a focal point for you because you're going to need it on Saturday. You look at a Mark Chapel team that 23-7 this year, but they beat Windward, a team that beat Garces last night. They beat Oaks Christian, another team that beat Garces early on, and they also beat St. Mary's of Albany up north out of the right next to Oakland. And those are all 3 teams that are still in the playoffs like you are. Keppel played in the open division for the southern section, but lost in both rounds, but against 2 great Vista Murrieta and Cajon teams. How much of that is going to these girls' leadership ability going to be a factor in what you need to get accomplished on Saturday?
Well, one thing that we've always been proud of this team is they approach every game trusting each other, trusting what they need to do, and do a very good job of staying focused and poised. Games that we get off to a good start, we keep the pressure going. Days that we start off a little sluggish, when we call a timeout or have to go in the locker room and talk about the adjustments, they already know. And we kind of just talk about it, but they already know with the mistakes that we've made. And so with their leadership, it helps the coaches because they're out there understanding what we ask them to do, and they get it done. So going against a good team like we're going to face Saturday, we believe we're a pretty good team as well. We trust our athleticism. Our girls are great basketball IQ, so we're going to go to work today, tomorrow, and get prepared and play the best we can.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back after this break when we're going to find out more about these girls as individuals and not just basketball players, and more about the experience Saturday winning the Central Section title. So we'll be right back here on BVarsity Live.